Really excited about this, my friends. Please welcome Hill Harper.
Hey, guys. Hey.
What a pleasure, man.
Absolutely. Great.
What's going on?
Well, it's great to be here. Look at you guys.
Excited to see you, sir.
going?
One of the things I liked about the film, and there was many things I did, but one of the strongest messages that I took away from it was that so much in the media, they perpetuate this idea that black men don't care about their kids.
Yes.
You hear that, oh yeah, some families stay together, but there's always this kind of thing in the background.
Yeah.
You know, black men take care of your kids. That
You
thing.
see it all the time.
All the time.
But
I love that in this movie, that's not, like you were saying a strong message, and so was Tommy. That was my favorite part of the...
Well, thank you. You know, I was raised by a single father.
Yeah.
Black father, right? And that's who raised me. And there's so many messages that, oh, single parents, black men disappear on their kids, etc. You know, we were talking about this before. One of my frustrations with the film The Help was they had this kind of nebulous black man, supposedly with, you see a pot or pan flying through the air, and you don't even see who threw it, and they're like, oh, he's bad, right? And they're basically, the message there was, leave him, to Octavia Spencer's character, leave, but the white families is like, fight for your marriage, right? These are really almost very subconscious cues of two different messaging.
Constantly being reinforced.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so this is a man fighting for his family, saying, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to try to hold it together. And that's why I'm extremely proud of the film. And I actually, you know, there's some emotionality creeped up on me, and I know what's gonna happen. Yeah. You know, and so it was really,
that your way of saying you were ready to cry? You welled up?
I don't want to say that.
You can't,
know, because if I say that I cried, I'd feel, you know.
You're allowed to cry.
No, man.
Dude, I cry watching movies all the time.
Well, I think you carry your femininity well.
Yeah.
And,
I like to carry it in my right arm.
Okay,
you know?
there you go. So it's
you
okay.
You don't?
Well, yeah, listen, clearly, I think that you're, you know, if you're really comfortable with your masculinity, you can cry. Yeah. But, you know, I still have to put on layers. Well, I don't want to get teased back in my old neighborhood.
Don't be fooled. I don't cry in real life. I just cry when I'm watching movies.
Oh, because the performances are so bad.
No, because you do things like the moment you have to talk to your daughter to explain that her mother's not here. Watch this. Watch this.
You know what? Your mom, she called me, and she told me that, she wasn't gonna be able to make it, but emergency. Niecy's sick or something.
It's a father having those uncomfortable moments with their daughter.
West Philadelphia, 1982, based off, inspired by a true story of the writer-director Tommy Oliver, first-time filmmaker. And, you know, we can joke around, but this film speaks to a family dealing with a crisis, and it's a mother who's dealing with crack addiction. And in the States, in the early 80s, is when crack cocaine swept through many of the black urban communities.
82, 83, crack didn't even have a name, right? That's the thing.
Right. It was so new and so early. And there's one scene where that's depicted where my character goes to this guy and says, hey, what is this? And Quentin Aaron, who's from The Blind Side, is the actor in that scene, and he says, they're calling it hard rock. You know, it hadn't even developed its brand name yet.
Right.
And to see how, to depict one family story about fighting to keep it together through addiction, but it's really a universal story. I don't want people to think that, oh, this, just because it's about a black family doesn't mean it can't apply to everybody who sees it, you know?
Right. Well, he's done lots of stories about white families as well. Take a look at this one from back in the day.
Oh, what do you have? Oh,
What's
no.
going on?
I just stopped by to thank you for setting me straight. You made me realize that I shouldn't jump into marriage.
I love this.
So, I broke off my engagement with Angie. And decided to go back to the girl I dated all through high school.
Man.
They told me that you're like Barbara Walters. You make people cry on set. And I was prepared. I was like, we talked about crying before. I wasn't gonna cry, but that was like my first role.
Damn, man.
That was my first role. Married with Children.
Massive,
oh yeah,
show.
It was big. It was big. I was the only character, I think, in the history of the show that idolized Al Bundy. Yeah. It's true. He was my hero. You know?
Strong family values in that program,
And listen,
right?
I'm telling you, he was like the greatest guy from Polk High. In fact, there's one episode where we sing this Polk High cheer.
You got the job for that. Who'd you call? What was that like?
You know what's funny? The guy I tested against for that role was Dave Chappelle. We both were starting our careers and was like, okay, you've made it down to the wire, you're screen testing, because it was a big deal, because at that time the show was big, right? And so it's like, you're testing against this comedian named Dave Chappelle. I was like, cool. And, you know, that was it. So it was like actor versus comedian.
Did you ever watch the Chappelle Show?
Yes, I did. I did.
So there's a scene in your movie, 1982.
Yes.
Where Wayne Brady
Wayne Brady.
is like with a gun coming around it.
Wayne Brady's in this film, 1982.
He's the bad guy, but even he is not a stereotypical bad guy. Like there's a reality to him too that you explain in the film. But it mirrors in the Chappelle Show when the whole is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch, like that whole scene.
Right.
It's in your movie, but not funny.
Right. It's serious. What's interesting is like Wayne Brady. I think that was a great like career move for him when he did that on Chappelle Show because it was like a big show. So he plays the bad guy in this film, and I think that he wants to kind of expand his breadth, and so people see him as different things. And he doesn't play it with a wink. He doesn't play it with a twist the mustache. I'm trying to kind of be bad, but I'm kind of being funny. In Dave Chappelle Show, he did that.
Yes.
In our movie, he plays it completely truthfully, but the funny thing is you're right, he does something almost exactly the same that he did in the Chappelle Show.
Stick around, more with Hill right after this. Coming up with Hill, he's actually played basketball with President Obama. We'll break down the top dog's game next. So that's President Obama, right?
Yes.
Barack Obama playing basketball.
Yes.
You squared off against the man.
Yes. The president and I played a lot of basketball together.
But not when he was the president.
No, we were in school together at Harvard Law School.
What's his jump shot like?
It's pretty good. He you know, it's not. Listen, first of all, he's tall.
Right.
And he has long arms.
Right.
And he's left-handed.
Right.
So it's a lot of deception.
Yeah.
But the actual skill level is not quite where people think it is.
Plus, as we're learning, a lot of offense, not a whole lot of D.
Well, no. Well, when we play now that he's president, people let him score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. You don't want to be that guy.
You do want to be that guy. You want to stuff the president.
There are 10 Secret Service people standing around the court.
But dude, hey, how'd you get that bullet hole? Man, I blocked the president's jump shot.
No, that's funny. He's the same personality he was then. He's a great guy. He works extremely hard. I think he wants what's best for our country.
But it is kind of, if you think about just how surreal your life is, you could never have imagined in your life that the president was Barack, the guy you play basketball with.
Well, I think what's weird is I think everybody at Harvard thinks they're going to be president.
Yeah.
So.
But no one believed the black guy.
No one believes the black guy.
Okay, so are you the next Ronald Reagan then, actor turned president?
I don't think so. I think I want to stick down my keep doing independent films and some TV shows and maybe throw some studio films in there for good measure.
Psychiatrist father, anesthesiologist mother, right?
Yes.
So when you're stressed out, would you rather talk it out or be knocked out?
I would go with the anesthesia. Yeah. I think that's the way to go.
How old were you when your parents split?
I was 5.
5?
Yeah.
So, I mean, how much do you recall from that time?
Not a lot. You know, I think that for me, it's like a blur. Yeah. I just remember we were together, and the next thing I know, I was in Iowa, of all places, in the Midwest, and then the next thing you know, I'm in the Bay Area in Oakland, California, which is completely different than Iowa. Growing up, my father comes out and says he wants to raise his sons, grabs us, and then my mother, you know, I'm not seeing her very often.
You have no choice in that matter.
No.
I'm coming to get you.
Yeah. So it's the best, I think, you know, it was the best outcome for me. Because to be quite honest, I think that a man can help teach a young man how to be a man. And sometimes it's a different conversation if it's just a mom.
Your father passed?
My father's passed away, yeah.
Did you speak at the funeral?
Yes.
What was that experience like?
You know, I was with him when he passed. You know, I was holding his hand and praying and just trying to allow him to go peacefully. He died from pancreatic cancer, which is a horrible. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. It's just a horrible, painful, ugly way to pass away, and to see the light literally move out of his eyes, traveled up this way. It's just something that is just I'll never forget. And just we're so blessed to have light in our eyes, to be able to walk around, to breathe, to interact, to do this interview, to be here, and go see a movie. And I just never want to forget those blessings. And that's really what I wanted to focus on, and that's really how I try to focus on the rest of my life. I wish he was here to see the movie, but I think he's in the theater.
You check it out.
I think he checks it out.
Probably saw it when you shot it.
Yeah, it's probably right there.
What a pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Hill Harper, everybody. Film School 1982. We'll be right back.